It's fun.
All right, cool. All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 4, Behind the Hustle, the show where I interview creators, small business owners, and entrepreneurs. That being said, I have Weston Edwards here today, aka Assorted Savage. I'm super excited for this because he's the first type of guest as far as being a streamer, gamer. So I'm really excited to have him on the show because he's been doing his stuff on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. So without further ado, Weston, go ahead and take it away, man. Give us a little intro about yourself.
What's good, man? I'm Weston Edwards, a streamer. I was a ball player and I fell in love with streaming. Super excited to be here today, man. 21 years old, on the road to hit partner with Twitch. Super close, super excited. Yeah, man, I'm just
Congrats
excited
on
to
that,
dive
man.
into
That's
it,
cool.
bro.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man, you have a very cool perspective that, I mean, it's funny because, you know, when you talk to someone in that kind of world, everyone's really knowledgeable about it and all that kind of stuff. And then when you mention, like, I still to this day talk about Twitch sometimes and people are like, what's that?
Really?
You know what I mean? And they don't know what it, and then they don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty intense, you know, when you look at it that way, when a company like Amazon bought it for just close to $1 billion, you know what I mean? And people don't even know what it is yet, you know?
For sure.
But I feel like that's cool for someone like yourself, because I mean, you being in the streaming world, it kind of just, the only way is up,
Right.
so to speak. You know what I mean? Because it's just only going to get bigger and more common and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like that's kind of a cool thing, you know?
And you see that a lot today, man. You see a lot today with like streaming now is a super crowded market, bro. Everybody and their brother wants to do it. So it's getting tougher, bro. It's getting tougher, but you just got to keep on chugging, man.
And it's funny how there's people that do, you know, the Twitch thing, and then that's the creator world in itself. And then you have people that are just YouTubers.
Right.
And you have people that really kill it on the Instagram thing and all that kind of stuff. So it's just an interesting, you know, era as far as all that. I see. What I liked about your stuff is that you really execute through Instagram quite a bit.
Yeah.
And you seem to be really, really engaged on that platform too.
Yeah, that's how I pride myself on that, bro. Whether you come to my Twitch stream or you comment on my YouTube, like I try to take it all like in together. I try to hit every single platform that I can to reach as many people as possible. And dude, I'm just like, I'm super engaged with my fans, all the people that hit me up, dude. Like I try to respond as soon as possible, because like that's the fun for me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not fun for me just to play a video game and have people commentate, bro. It's like I want to build a relationship with my community, bro. So that's completely what I based everything around. Anytime anybody hits me up, whether it's a YouTube comment, an Instagram DM, anything, bro, I'm responding to anything. And that's just where the fun is for me.
And that's really smart. I mean, it works out twofold for you because you actually like doing it, and then it ends up working out just because it's a better thing, because that's what it's about, and that's what's going to keep people coming back. And then that was just something that I noticed too, like right off the bat, you know, because I'm not even sure how. I think I just came up through maybe like just going through like Explore or searching hashtags or something, but your stuff, it that engagement differentiated yourself from other streamers, you know?
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. So what kind of, you said that you were a ball player and then you kind of fell in love with streaming. How did that whole thing start or whatever?
Yeah, man. So I've been playing sports my whole life, bro. Literally, I just graduated high school in 2017. I got a D1 offer to go play basketball at the University of Delaware. I did that. I fell in love with it, and I love ball. It was awesome. But like streaming's always kind of been on the back burner for me, bro. Like it's just been something like pastime. And so I had some stuff go down with my college, some medical issues, all that stuff. And Delaware is 8 hours from me. I'm in North Carolina. So my family was like, why don't you come closer to home? We'll find you a school here, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So I was like, cool. So we did that. And then I just like I told you, streaming's always been on the back burner. So I just started streaming. And then I started getting bigger and bigger and bigger, bro. And then I realized, like, bro, I could really do this, dog. Like, I'm pretty good at this. Yeah. And I started building the community, man. Like I told you, my community's amazing, dude. And so I got asked. So once I transitioned back to North Carolina this year, I had a couple offers to go back to school, man, but I just told my parents, I was like I feel like I want to do this. Like I'm really falling in love with streaming, and so that's what I'm doing, bro. And I don't know if it's gonna work out. We're gonna see, man. You know, you got to take risks sometime, bro. So I'm here, I'm doing it, and hopefully it pays out, bro.
Yeah, and then this is really the time to do it, you know what I mean, as far as like the risk and all that kind of stuff. You did mention that you're 21 and all that, so this is the time to kind of go and try and taste all those things, you know what I mean? Exactly. And it seems like you're already on a good path because you already understand that you love it and you like it and all that. And then really you're just building an asset for yourself too, because now, I mean, you have, and a lot of people don't really realize that you have the ability to, you know, build a community and all that kind of stuff. You have the ability to navigate certain platforms that are foreign to other people.
Right.
You know what I mean? That not everyone understands it and all that kind of stuff. And again, you can leverage all that stuff and help people that want to, you know, maybe stream. And I'm sure you've seen it. You see the people that are streamers that, you know, end up doing the streaming thing and then they expand wide and then they teach people how to stream and they, you know, upload content like on YouTube like that and all that. And so yeah, and then that's only going to continue to get bigger as far as, and especially once brands start to understand that too.
Yeah, for sure.
And then,
for sure.
You know, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be huge. That's kind of cool. You come from the sport area, you know, the arena in that sense, and how it's, I don't know, since you've played ball, you might've heard that, like, as far as like esports and stuff, how the NBA sanctioned that legit NBA 2K league.
I didn't even hear that, bro. No, I didn't hear that at all. That's completely new to me.
So that was like, I want to say 2018 was the first year they did it, but it was the NBA, it was the owner, right? And he came in and he was like, yo, esports is definitely a thing. So then they sanctioned, I want to say it was like 12 of the actual NBA teams total. And then they just made an esports league through 2K.
Oh, that's tough. I never knew that.
So they made it legit where they, you know, scouted for players, took them and then paid them a salary and did the whole thing just like a normal NBA season.
Right.
And then they were just playing 2K, which I was like, that's mind blowing. You know what I mean? Like, and then you have a team where it's, the players are all different. You know, they can be male and female, they could be different heights and all that kind of stuff. And then they're playing professional like level esports, which is just, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's insane, dude. And it's a crazy bridge, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some people, because a lot of athletes don't like to say, man, I play video games and do this. So it's a crazy bridge that, man, now they're actually putting it both together. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that is really cool. And then people getting, and then you can see for someone like yourself, or where let's say someone streams 2K and then they're on Twitch or some sort of platform, plus they're also making money through a professional contract in an esports league.
Right.
That's freaking crazy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's
bro.
nuts.
You're balling.
Yeah, and then you're reaching out and you're expanding on YouTube and doing these other things and you're getting brand deals and all this. The potential's pretty high. And then again, just with people getting more comfortable with that, because you got to think, like, as people get older, you know, these younger generations that are growing up with like TikTok and YouTube and all these things, they're gonna be more comfortable with people having their individual brands and stuff around them.
Exactly.
Parents are gonna be comfortable with letting their kids do this kind of stuff, you know?
Yep. Exactly, dude. So, and it's super new, bro. It's super new, but it's becoming super crowded. So I'm excited to see where it goes, man. I am.
Yeah, I think you have a good mindset as far as all that stuff, and then just being able to execute on, like you said, those platforms. You know what I'm saying? Because again, the more attention you get and all that kind of stuff, the better, and then they can kind of, you know, hear your message out and all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
At your highest ambition, I know you mentioned a partner for Twitch and stuff. What do you want this to be at your highest ambition? Like, this is like 20 years, 15 years down the line. What would you dream and hope this to turn into?
Oh, dude, I'm hoping this thing would be like a Ninja 2.0, dude, like 10 times bigger, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love to just like, I would love to take this thing and blow it up as far as it could be, bro. And then, like, you know what I mean? Just spread positivity, dude. Like, anything positive that we can bring to the world, dude, just do it, man. So yeah, bro.
I feel you on that. Especially there's a lot of polarizing things, you know, that kind of separate people, you know. So I like it in the sense of being able, like how you said, doing the positive stuff instead of focusing on all the things that divide us or whatever. And it's kind of interesting. Like myself, I come from like a career in law enforcement, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of polarizing, that
sure.
world, and that world is a lot different than, say, the creator space right here, where like we just gas each other up and we're like, yeah, man, let's do it, and like all this stuff, and you know what I mean. It's an interesting world and stuff, but it's definitely cool. And so as far as like the partner stuff, there's like specific requirements, right, that you have to have in order to get a partner. I went to TwitchCon this last year.
Oh, that's tough. That's nice.
In September, because I live in SoCal, so it's only 40 minutes away from me in San Diego.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's pretty cool. It was interesting being able to hear the CEO talk about their initiatives and all that kind of stuff and what they're doing. I don't know if you saw like the studio beta thing that they released and all the different things like that.
Yeah, I did just see that. They literally just released that on the dashboard, I think. I just got an email about it the other day, actually. I haven't had a chance to check it out, though.
Me neither. It's going to be interesting, but it kind of goes right with what we were saying, because again, it's just going to get it's going to get easier, more competitive, because now they're making the process, like, I'm sure you had to learn OBS and all that kind of stuff and all the intricacies that come along with that, right?
Yeah, bro, that's a pain in the butt, dude.
Right?
Yeah, like, bro, that's tough.
Yeah. And you're like, because I had to do the same thing. Granted, like, I have a little bit of, like, I used to work at Best Buy, so I'm a little bit of a nerd. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, we'll be able to work this out. But man, I could only imagine, like, no one having any sort of anything, trying to learn that and navigate that stuff is difficult, man.
Yeah, I got really good people around me though, dude. Literally last night, I think I spent like 4 or 5 hours just going through, like, making sure everything was right. And because I was going through a transition, because I use Streamlabs right now, but I was gonna go to a transition where I was going to strictly to OBS. And I was like, you know what, forget it, bro. So I just stick to Streamlabs. But literally, I spent like 4 to 5 hours making sure everything was right with every setting. And dude, it's tough, bro. I'm looking at some of this stuff and it's super foreign to me. But I got great people around me, bro, so they help me out a lot.
Yeah, that's really cool. And then I'm sure, like you said, you'll take care of them. You'll bring that team with you,
for sure,
wherever
bro,
you end up going and stuff, which is super cool. What's your whole like take on like Twitch and Mixer and all that kind of stuff? Because I saw that you at some point you did post that you were going to do both Mixer, Twitch, and all that. So what's your take on that whole situation?
So originally, bro, I started streaming on Mixer. I started like I said, man, streaming was on the back burner, bro. So I would just get home from workouts, whatever, and I would just turn my Xbox on and start streaming on Mixer. But then my boy was like, he was like, dude, if you could really take this somewhere, why don't you go to Twitch? I was like, all right, I'm gonna try it. So I did it. The first stream I ever had on Twitch, I had like 17 viewers, so I was popping off right off the rip. And
oh, okay, yeah.
And so literally, man, I just stuck with Twitch, and I've loved it ever since. Everything's been great. I have the greatest community in the world. But then one of my mods was like, why don't you try streaming on Mixer at night just for the fun of it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, I'll try it. I tried a couple of days, and it's just like, to me, it's just nothing like Twitch, man. I love Twitch. I love everything about it. And I just don't see myself going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah. It's all about timing and all that kind of stuff, and what's right for you in terms of like, the business. Because I mean, essentially, that's kind of what you're trying to create, trying to create a community, but in order for that to all flow and all work, it's got to be right for you as well,
right?
But yeah, it is an interesting place. And the one thing that I thought was kind of I don't know, I pretty much thought it was weird, because I went to the TwitchCon, right? The CEO was like talking there, and he was like, one of the guys asked him, he was like, oh, what are you guys going to do to stay competitive? Because obviously, there's going to be other people that are going to try to take your guys' market share and all that stuff. And it was kind of funny, like the CEO, he just sat there and was like, man, we're just going to do what we've been doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that was it. And that was it. And I was like, okay, I mean, that makes sense, as far as just making it, community based and trying to give people the tools and the ability to stream and all that stuff. I don't know if Mixer's going to be, because obviously their strategy right now is to just take the top people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to really play out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Because I saw Ninja on Mixer, man, and Ninja's only at like 20,000, you know what I'm saying? Like 20,000
Oh, no,
viewers.
It's a complete difference.
Complete difference, dude. Yeah, and so I'm saying, go ahead.
Oh, so, I mean, the complete difference. And then for Dr. Disrespect, he's just like chilling, like, All right,
exactly.
cool.
And Tfue and Dr. Lupo and Tim, bro. They're having field days, bro. Honestly.
Yeah. So I mean, it's an interesting thing, and we'll see how that ends up working out in the long run. Yeah. As far as Mixer goes, and another thing that I thought was really interesting is the guys that created it. So I don't know if you ever did any, if you looked into the company or whatever, but the founder, and there's I think 2 dudes, but the one kid is like 21 years old who made Mixer.
I never realized it, dude. I never even looked into it, bro.
Yeah, so
that's crazy.
That's crazy. He's 21, right? He started off at like 13 years old. He made like Minecraft servers or something like that, and became like a millionaire through that at 13 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he ended up, him and his friend or whatever, developing. They called it Beam at first. It was called Beam, and then Microsoft like found interest, and then they essentially bought it from him. But they left, so they're not even a part of Mixer anymore. The 2 founders. So now it's solely bought by Microsoft, and then they took it over, and then So it's really interesting. I was like, that's weird, like, because he essentially just made the company and then just like dipped with his buddy. Like,
right, dude. I'm sure Microsoft paid good though. Paid good money
like
for
a
it, bro.
ton, I'm sure, man. He's chilling. He's 21. He's driving around a Huracan Lambo, and the dude's set. And it's funny. He's pursuing a career in laser shows. In EDC dance stuff. So I thought that was interesting. But I'm like, dude, hats off to you. Go create. Go do the more stuff that you want to do.
Bro.
You know.
Right, man. Live your life.
Yeah. So as far as when you started off and like doing the streaming, was what you said earlier as far as like the college and all that stuff, were that the most difficult like obstacles to get over, or were there other things that you found difficult like starting it, or?
Like you talking about like things that get in the way of it, or?
Yeah, kind of, or just like you and your mental space of being like, all right, I'm gonna be a streamer, and like kind of getting over those things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was real tough, dude. It was real tough. Like when I was on Mixer, it wasn't nothing, dude. When I was like, whatever, I'll stream when I stream. Who cares? And then, but as I've started growing, man, it's been a lot. It's like mentally, I have to sacrifice a lot, dude, to like make sure I'm live at this amount of time for these certain days, and like. People don't really see that this kind of stuff that you sacrifice to do it, but I mean, man, I love it.
That's true, man.
It is what it is.
It is true, like, and like, it is crazy, man. Like, especially you talk to people that are older and they're not too familiar with like YouTube, Twitch, whatever it is, and then they're like, that's easy, man. That's easy money. Like, that's not a real job and stuff like that. And they'll say things like that. I'm like, man, you don't understand. Like, it really is, especially if you're executing on all the things, trying to make content like across all the platforms and doing all this stuff. It's like a huge thing.
And see, that's what I thought. I thought that's what I was thinking when I first started. I was like, man, this is easy, dude. This is gonna be nothing. But then, bro, like on my phone, on my Instagram, dude, it's like a job, bro. I'm on this 24/7, like, because I told you how I am with my people. Like, I'm super responsive. I'm super quick to reply. So, bro, like, I'm on this thing 24/7, just answering DMs, talking to people, putting myself out there. And it's just, bro, it's very time consuming, dude. Very time consuming. And it is far from easy, dude. Far from it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, like, I'm curious for you as a creator, because I've already had this conversation with a few other people, like with what I'm trying to do right now. I'm just like I said earlier in the DM, I'm a dude in his garage, but at some point I would like to help creators, because where it's like YouTubers, streamers, and all these other things. The interesting part about it is the fact that they don't have it's kind of like a Wild West out there, because I called some lawyers and I talked to them and stuff, and they were like, athletes and people in Hollywood, actors and all those, there's protections, like obviously you may have heard of like, all that stuff that was going on with Tfue.
Right.
With his contract and, all that stuff. Like, dude, you can put some crazy stuff in these contracts and it's like legal, it's legit, because there's no protection for streamers, YouTubers, influencers, things like that. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, it's very ambitious, like my mindset and what I'm trying to do. But essentially, I want to locally, I'm trying to just help brands like small businesses. Like yesterday, I was just with an auto repair shop, to kind of take on their social media and help them branch out and then kind of run ads and different things to get them customers. But at some point, I would like to leverage that and then use that capital and use that business to then approach someone like yourself and then be like, just try to offer help and make those things easier. You know what I mean? Like streamlining the process for you to run that stuff, give you guys sponsorships, like, you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff, to where essentially the creators have the protection to where you guys aren't being like taken advantage of with all your money. Cause like, dude, in that contract, that was like nuts. Like with the Tfue, like the 60-80%, you know, getting all that stuff like swiped out from under them is freaking insane. And just figuring out how to do that kind of stuff, you know, and leveraging, like, there's a few groups, I don't know if you've heard of them already, but like, I guess Ninja's part of Loaded, and then there's a few other ones like online performers groups, and they do different things. Like there was one where they even reach out and try to provide you guys like paid vacation.
Oh, for real? I never even saw that.
Yeah, because like those are things that are like, if you think about it, like if you're a streamer, you guys are so dedicated to your streams, you know what I mean? And if you guys don't, and if you miss out for a week, you guys are usually worried about like missing, you know, your audience, and you lose money and all that kind of stuff. So like figuring out a system to where, you know what I mean? Like say you're on vacation, but then maybe we have another streamer and then that fills in the gap and then you're getting paid vacation. You know what I'm saying? Like a possibility to be able to take care of all that kind of stuff. Would be really interesting, but I think it's reasonable. Oh, and then there was other ones too where they were like, they would go brand negotiate for you guys, and then sometimes people don't pay you, right? Like let's say you guys negotiate a deal and then you never get your payment, and then that's where the middleman comes in and is like, yo, pay my boy.
Yeah, like what are you doing, bro?
Yeah. You guys agreed on this, like what's going on, you know? So that's what I'm going to be trying to create or whatever, just one step at a time, and see if that works, just because I think it's inevitable. Like you said, you know, this is going to continue to get bigger. And, you know, the Hollywood perception and all that kind of stuff, it seems to, like the way you are with your audience would be the way I would want to be with people that are creators. To just, it's about you guys being able to have the ability to create and do what you want without having to stress about all the other stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And then, cause then that's just stressful, man. Like as far as you going into it and being like, all right, is this company trying to rip me off for money? What am I doing on YouTube? What am I doing on TikTok? What am I doing on all these things? You know what I mean? Like creating all that kind of stuff. Essentially, you guys want to just be able to play the game and then interact with your community the way you guys want to build it. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So it'll be a matter of just figuring that out and stuff as time goes on, you know?
Yeah, man. You can do it, bro. Honestly, man, throughout all this, I've learned that you can literally do anything you put your mind to, bro. Honestly. And you grind at it, bro, you can do it. So,
I totally agree with you. Just stay at a time, you know? What do you think is some good advice in your perspective for people that are like wanting to start out streaming and stuff? Like if you just had to either give yourself advice or someone that's just completely new to the whole game.
Dude, the biggest piece of advice I could give somebody would be like, be personable, read your chat, interact with your community, dude. There's so many streamers that I walk into that I click on, and I'm just trying to talk to them, bro, and they're like, they don't ever read the message, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what is the point? Like you're never gonna get anywhere if you don't read the chat, man. Build a community from the ground up, and like when you find those key people, make sure to stick with them, like, because that's how you build it, bro. That's how you build it. That's really the biggest piece of advice I would give somebody is like, just build your community, interact with your community, and don't act like you're too good for them, bro. Because at the end of the day, like without my community, I'm nothing, bro. So like your community is like, that's you.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
That's the biggest piece of advice I could give you, or give a new streamer.
Yeah, and I agree. And it's the same thing like on Instagram when people like will post things and then you'll read and then they're not responding to any one of their comments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you wonder why, and then they wonder why like their audience like, you know, leaves or whatever, or doesn't stay around because there's no response there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you don't pay them attention, right?
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy as far as all that, but it makes sense as far as being able to communicate, engage with your audience and all that, and then just continue to build up from there.
For sure, man. Yeah, that's exactly the way.
So what other kind of stuff has your attention right now besides streaming? Do you do anything else as far as, or anything in pop culture that has your attention? Are you on TikTok? What do you think of that kind of stuff? What else is going on?
I'm a freaking dude. I'm a huge businessman, so I'm always thinking like business moves, dude. Currently right now, I just made a TikTok. Me and my girl are gonna make one just to kind of put like I was gonna do it for like Fortnite, but then I was like, I stream Fortnite, my YouTube's Fortnite, my Twitter, blah blah blah. So I think me and her are gonna take on TikTok, make some videos together, and just put a different side of me that other people don't see.
Yeah.
But YouTube, man, I'm always there. Twitter, I'm always putting stuff out. So every form of social media, I'm pretty much on.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to hit as much as I can, dude. Just because you never know. You never know what's gonna blow up, or never know what people are gonna like, man.
Yeah, it's true. And do you ever hit up or follow Gary Vaynerchuk? Have you ever heard of that guy?
Nah, I've never heard of him.
He's an entrepreneur kind of guy. He gives it real straight or whatever. I'll try to find a video and send it to you, and you see if you can watch it just to kind of he'll explain it better than I can. But his whole thing is, giving out like it's essentially the same thing, right? Is attention, wherever the attention is, whether that's Facebook, and we know like Instagram used to be hotter like 2-3 years ago, and like the organic reach was better and all that kind of stuff. And as far as the TikTok and stuff, and what it is now is people are being able to post something on there, and it's able to organically reach like a ton of people.
Yeah,
people were posting I interviewed this one kid on my first or second episode of Behind the Hustle. He posted like 2 videos, and then like a day later it had 2 to 3 million views.
Sheesh, that's crazy.
And it was him flipping stuff. His whole thing was called the side grind, and it was him just taking a dollar and then trying to flip it into $1,000.
Yeah.
And then reselling things. But yeah, he had 2 to 3 million views, and then he had 160,000 followers within a 2 to 3 day period.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's so the organic reach is like through the roof crazy, and then that's what Gary says. He's just a matter of like showing you like where the attention is for the cheapest cost or whatever, kind of thing. And then you just being able to communicate whatever message through those different platforms. He's a real good advocate for it. He just released like a 264 page deck on how to produce like 64 pieces of content a day.
Sheesh.
Because that's his whole thing, you know what I mean, is just being able to, produce as much content throughout all the platforms as possible. And he kind of gives an example of this, like this podcast right here. I can record it, I can have the audio, and then I can chop up the video into small sections and then distribute it across the platforms.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he gives you real practical advice on how to do that kind of stuff, and all that. Random question. Would you ever consider being in a streaming house?
Oh, yeah, dude. That would be dope. I would be all for that.
Right?
Yeah, that would be legit. Yeah.
That'd be sick, huh?
That'd be sick. We'd be turning there for real.
That'd be so fun, huh? Because I always thought, like, dope. I know they always, like, FaZe and all them did that and stuff. And, like, but yeah, I had that, like, man, I remember having that conversation like 4 or 5 years ago, like how interesting that would be. Just YouTube, like, following all these new streamers, like, around, you know what I mean? Like, and just hearing kind of like old school reality TV shows, and just who knows, man, maybe that'll come up to fruition at some point. But
yeah, man, like I said, dude, just keep grinding for it, bro, and anything's possible, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, dude.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I definitely appreciate you being on the podcast. It means a lot to me.
Yeah, man.
Do you want to say anything, any parting words, or to anyone, any more advice you have?
Man, I just appreciate you having me, bro. Like I said, it's a blessing. It's an honor to be here, man. I appreciate it. I really do.
Well, I appreciate it more, man. Okay.
Yes, sir, buddy.
All right. That's going to end the episode, guys. Behind the Hustle, episode 4 with Weston Edwards, a.k.a. Assorted Savage. Dope name, by the way. I didn't compliment you on that, but I definitely like it.
Appreciate it.
So we appreciate you guys. Thanks for listening. Comment below, like, whatever you guys like on the episode, and we'll see you next time.
What are y'all talking about? 22. Am I missing something? Yo, no way, bro. Yo, no freaking way, bro. Get the heck out of here, bro. Oh my goodness. Yo, Drake, bro. Holy. Guys. right, bro. All right, Drake, you want to do this, man? Let's do it.
It's fun.